Welcome everyone, and thanks for tuning in today. Pretty special day. We're going to talk about this new MOTU movie coming up. So I'm gonna, if you haven't seen this preview, and guys, I'm assuming you're living under a rock or something because it's all over the place. We're here to talk about it, man. I've got to get it out of my system. No one in my family gives two hoots about this movie, man. So I need to talk about it with someone. So you guys are here. Let's do this, man. I know there's a million reviews up online about this movie already. I'm not here. I'm not going to go through this with a fine tooth comb. I just want to have a good old fashioned yarn about this movie, and see what you guys reckon so far. I'm hoping to get a few people on board, but if I don't get on here for a chat, that's all good, man. I'm happy to talk about this by myself, and we can check it out later. So please, if you haven't gone seen the preview, the trailer, it's about 2.5 minutes long. Go check it out. I'm not going to pull it up here live because I'm pretty sure my live will get taken down. It'll be a copyright thing. So I've got a few screen grabs I'm going to show a bit shortly and talk through some of the characters and some of the things that I think are going to be in there. So we'll get started in a minute. I can see I've got 4 people on board. So feel free, please say good day, anyone. I'll comment back and say good day to anyone that says hello. And any questions, any opinions, please feel free. I'm going to go through every single one and I'll get back to you guys and respond to you. Look, I'll just give you a quick background on why I've been pumped for this movie for so long. Obviously, I was born in 77, so I'm a child of the 80s. He-Man was... Hey, Ronnie, how are you, my man? I'm a child of the 80s. I was born in 77. He-Man was just about everything. Ash, my man. Hey, guys. I keep getting interrupted, but sorry. Hey, my man. Hey, buddy. Yeah, man. I grew up with this cartoon series, and it was everything. It was just took over the world at the time, man. And that was during a golden era of toys with He-Man, Star Wars, Transformers, Mask. All those things were going off, and He-Man was so big. So I feel like every other franchise that had a reboot, the Transformers movies, everyone's had a reboot. Everyone's had their time in the sun. But MOTU, man, it's been left out, and it's been so long. I actually liked the original 80s movie with Dolph Lundgren. I didn't mind it at all, watchable. But now it's time to move on and shine, guys, and bring it back. And I'm hoping this movie goes ballistic and just takes over, and MOTU's in the media, and MOTU Mania goes wild like Hulkamania once did. So let's see what happens. But we'll get started. I've got a few people in the house there. Thanks for joining me, guys. I'm just a mad MOTU fan. I've been waiting forever for this, and I'm hell pumped, obviously. So I'm kind of coming out of my skin to talk about it. I thought if I did this straight away, I wouldn't have time to process. So it's been about a day or a bit more than a day. I watched the preview about 55 times or something like that. So let's get started. So I'll just flick over screen. So I've just got a few screen grabs I've got. So that's the poster, and I reckon that looks fantastic. I'm assuming that'll be the theatrical poster that we're going to see everywhere, and I reckon it looks cool as. Like I said, if you haven't seen this preview, please it's 2 minutes. Go and watch it. It's on YouTube. It's impossible to miss. So 16 million views, the official one. So it looks like in just over 24 hours. So it looks like it's looking pretty popular. So this is the theatrical poster, and I reckon it looks great. Honestly, I hope this goes bananas. They had to obviously make this movie appeal to not just MOTU lovers, people that grew up with it like us, but it has to be a standalone movie, probably similar to Thor. It looks like they've done something like that with its going to Earth. So it looks like, from what I'm seeing, I'm just going to watch the preview off screen here, just quickly, just so I can quickly get it kind of chronologically. So they obviously start off flying through. They show an image of Grayskull, which I'll bring up shortly. But then it kind of flashes to Earth, and it looks like Queen Marlena, who originally came from Earth, if you watch the cartoon series. Hey, Ash, again, thanks, man. Him. I like that, Ronnie. I actually really like that little thing. But yeah, it looks like Queen Marlena's transferred him back to her home planet Earth to protect him. And the first scenes you see him are him in an office job. I think he's in HR, or HR weren't going to be happy with what he was talking about, swords or something. But he's wearing a nice pink shirt, beautiful haircut. He's looking pretty cool. I reckon he's looking pretty, very, very Prince Adam-like, personally. Anyway, it looks like he's been sent to Earth to protect it, to be protected and saved, maybe. I'm assuming this is the origins of how he first becomes He-Man when he comes back to presumably save Eternia, but thankfully they haven't really given much of the storyline away outside of him being sent to Earth for protection. So obviously he comes back, and he looks like there's some pretty funny mentions. Somehow he gets a sword. It looks like he goes to a comic store or a pop culture store, and some little girl tells him, some lady that works there tells him he's not allowed to do that. So it looks pretty funny. It looks like it's got a bit of humor in it, which is what we need. So I'll flick over. So that's the theatrical poster. I reckon that looks great. I want to see that everywhere, man. I'm so pumped. So this is the main, or some of the mainstays here. You're seeing this is them opening up, coming out of a spaceship, landing on Eternia throughout at some point in the preview. So I believe the guy on the far left is Roboto. Doesn't look a thing like the cartoon or the toy, but Hey, who cares? Now, Man at Arms has changed race. He's now of different skin color. It doesn't bother me. A lot of people are up in arms about it. I'm not going to throw any kind of negativity about this movie in any way. Who cares? And a lot of people were whinging about how He-Man's not big enough, not tanked up enough, man. He ain't got enough muscle. But who cares, man? Like, I reckon he looks great as Prince Adam, and the pink is great. Teela's looking pretty nice, red hair. I hope she at some point has the hair up. That's my only gripe. Otherwise, you've got to have the hair up, man. She wore the hair up 90% of the time in the cartoon series. So let's hope she's got the hair tied up and with that little tiara thing, looking a lot like her. And look at Cringer, man. Cringer looks very cool. A little bit of white. Does that make him look a little bit white on the chest and white in the face? It makes him look a little bit old, grey hair like me on the sides, you know? So, no, but he looks cool. I like the green and yellow in there, and he looks lovely, man. So that first little picture I got up on screen, man, everything looks sick to me, man. I'm actually just can't wait. I don't know how some people are throwing negative comments towards this movie. To me, it looks absolutely ballistic. Anyway, I'll just grab look over the next one. So that's a bit of a close up of Cringer. I don't know if he's turned into Battle Cat there yet, because he's looking pretty bloody angry, and those choppers seem to have grown somewhat. So I'm not sure if he's maybe just turning into Battle Cat and he hasn't got his arm yet or anything like that. But I reckon it looks excellent, man. I've got a few of my little He-Man friends here to help me get through this review. So obviously it's hard to tell from Battle Cat, but yeah, like, has he got the same growl? I reckon he looks mad. And if there's something wrong with you, man, if you're complaining about that Cringer, or if that's Battle Cat before he gets his arm, whatever, he looks great, man. Anyway, let's move along. So here we got Spycore. Now this one, I had to watch the movie and slow it down. Sorry, the preview, and just slow it down. And that was up for about a second as part of the preview, and he looks ridiculously intense. So a far cry from the cartoon series and from the toy. I got my Origins Spycore here, which I just dropped his trident. He doesn't quite look like that, but that doesn't matter, man. It doesn't have to be movie accurate, I don't believe. He's not a major character, Spycore. He's just one of the bad dudes. He's a little bit goofy in the cartoons and the toy, but that looks ridiculous. And he looks a little bit like Batista to me. He's not. I don't think he's in the actors. He's in the cast list, but that guy, whoever got that guy, looks nuts. His face is nuts, and I'm really happy with that guy, man. I just hope he's got he must have his big trident and his club, because that's all he really needs. He looks brutal, guys. What do you guys think? How good that Spycore look, man? Like, I've got MOTU Mania, something wicked. I've jumped on board with these Origins the last, I don't know, 18 months, and I've got a bloody fair stack of them, vehicles, play sets, and that's really pumped me up. And said to myself, I wasn't going to buy them all. I've got most of them. Then the cartoon series has come out, and the animated series of the figures has come out, and I've got heaps of them. But I'm not getting the 200X, except for one of bought Stratos. But if they release they're obviously going to release a movie line, same thing. How am I going to say no to that? They bring out that Spycore looking ridiculously realistic. How are you going to say no to these toys, eh? Like, that looks phenomenal, eh? Anyway, let's go on. And then, so like I said, this was only preview for 1 second, so you really got to watch that preview about 100 times. I've watched it a couple more. There's quite a few I missed. Here's Fisto. Look at this dude, man. It looks like he's a blue flash coming from his fist when he punches. So I got a Fisto here just quietly as well to showcase. This is my Origins Fisto. I don't have an OG one, but the Origins one, they did really well. Just off topic, yeah. So Fisto looks cool, man, and that face, like, I quite like that. And it remains to be seen. You see him for all of 2 seconds in the preview, but man, so far, I cannot fault anything I've seen. Honestly, it looks fantastic. You're not going to obviously get a whole lot of negativity from me in this little break part of the preview, because to me, it's just, I've been waiting for so long. This had to just be look half decent, and I'll be pumped. And to me, it looks like bloody 10 out of 10 at the moment. I cannot wait. I've got to wait 4.5 months or something for this, so that's going to be tough, man. Waiting 4.5 months for this to come out. Anyway, let's move along. Now, this one's Evil Lynn. Now, I didn't get the greatest screen grab because she's only on for a second and she pulls out her bloody scepter. So it was hard for me to actually snap that one down. But that's Evil Lynn. She looks savage, man. Look at that grit on those teeth, man. She's angry. Oh, I have got Evil Lynn, but I didn't pull her out. She's obviously a major character in the cartoon series. She was in massive. I don't know if you guys watched the Revelations. I didn't mind it. Got a lot of heat. I thought it was cool. She played a massive part in that. She's obviously a key character. You have to nail her down, both her appearance and her behaviors. She's sinister. And just that quick snap there looks like they've got they're going to go 10 out of 10 on her, man. Like, she looks bloody good. Anyway, let's move on. Now, this looks nuts. This is obviously the head of Snake Mountain. And it's got, you'll see the ensuing photo later on. There's Skeletor. Actually, you don't see this scene close up, because when you do see Skeletor, he's actually got an armada of people behind him. That one's he's only got one person next to him, and He-Man walking towards him. So I wonder if that's the final battle or something, because that looks, what a bloody final battle in the head of the snake of Snake Mountain. And look at those this volcanic lava and fire. That gives you vibes of Revenge of the Sith, when Anakin and Ben are carving each other up and Anakin gets sliced and diced. That's reminding me of Mustafa, whatever the system is. I'm not a sequel prequel, man. I'm an OG, so I don't remember all the planet names. But how good would that be for a final scene, them battling it out in the snakehead with molten lava flying everywhere? Like, that's insane. Anyway, that's, I think, the only look we got. I'm going to have to go watch it again and slow it down. But I believe that's the only look we got at Snake Mountain. And that looks brutal, eh? It looks really, really good. Well, let's move on. So here we got, and this again was only in there for just a moment. Excuse me for a sec. That is the back, obviously, of many people's favorite character and figure, obviously Trapjaw. And I tell you what, that was the only gripe on the, well, there's a lot of gripes in the original 80s movies, but the original 80s movies didn't have a lot of the villains in it. It had Beastman, and it was nothing like anything, and obviously Skelly. But I believe that was it. You had Sauron, you had all these different dudes that weren't Blade, that weren't cartoon related at all. This movie, they had to obviously do it, and they brought in some of the key. I'm sure there's heaps more. This is a 2-minute preview, and I've spotted about 10 or 15 characters in 1 second clips. I'm sure they've bloody thrown most of them in there. Look at Trapjaw. Like, I'm going to spend a bit of time on this picture because I absolutely love this character. That looks ridiculously good, man. His helmet just looks brilliant. He doesn't have that little circle on his head. I don't think that, I thought they probably would put it on there as a bit of a note to the cartoon, but they don't. But look how crazy his hook arm looks. Like, that looks better than I could have dreamed. Like, the way they've done that mechanically, it looks just, I don't know, like, I can't even put a word, like medieval almost. And that hook looks massive, man. I can't wait to see Trapjaw. He looks like he's given Prince Adam a big backhand of their man with a hook, and he's taken one. But that, I don't know, man. I can't wait to see him front. Like, they obviously haven't shown his face on purpose. And he's going to be just a ridiculous character. Like, when that guy comes out and you see his face, I'm probably going to lose it. There's no way I can't go see this at midnight or a premiere or something. Like, I can't afford to have anyone tell me or see a snippet or something that I want to see it on the big screen first. And this is one of my favorite characters. And he's just a brute, man. And he has to be seen for the first time on the big screen. So there's no way I'm not going to try and get my hands on some midnight screenings. I'm going to see if I can maybe get my hands on a heap and maybe give some away for some WA people. So anyone here, Perth, WA, Western Australia, keep your eye out on my YouTube channel and my page. If I can somehow secure a handful of these tickets to this premiere or something along those lines, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to start researching now. If I can get my hands on some premiere tickets, I'm going to give them away. And I'm not going to sell them. I'm going to give them away to you guys. So I can be around a few MOTU fans. But you got to prove to me you're a MOTU fan for me to give it to you. But hey, let me get these bloody tickets first. But there's no way I'm not seeing this on opening day or midnight or something like that, because it's going to be ridiculous. Anyway, let's move on. So Trapjaw, man, he looks ridiculous. Sorry, I keep saying that, but I'm struggling to process. And then you got Skeletor, man. Now, he looks brutal. Look at that face. I mean, Skelly's a big favorite of mine. I got him tattooed on my arm. He's what can you say about him? Like, as with regards to being a unbelievable villain, what is he? Top 3 all time? He's with Megatron and Darth Vader. There's no top 3 bigger than that. Those 3, man, like those 3 are the best baddies ever. And I've got him. Obviously, I love the bad dudes. I've got those 3 guys tattooed next to me myself on my arm. I also got Cobra Commander, and now I've got a soft spot for him because I'm a massive Joe's fan. But he looks evil, man. He's got glowing eyes. Look at his scepter. Like, the Skullhead scepter it's got glowing eyes. And there's a battle scene you see for a moment. It's right at the end of the trailer when him and He-Man are going for it, and He-Man's got a sword. He's swinging around the skull thing. Man, it's there's energy, this like almost like a lightsaber kind of energy coming off his skull. It just looks ridiculous. He's got some serious power. And look at him. He's got the 6-pack. I've got a Skeletor here to keep me company. It's Terraclaus. That's my favorite. Terraclaus Skelly's OG one. That's my favorite figure from the whole line with Tongue Lasher. But he's got the famous 6-pack, man. So, and from my comments and what you can see, I think He-Man's going to lose out muscle-wise, man. He-Man's going to lose the pose off with Skeletor because look at that rig, mate. Look at them pecs and that midsection. He's ripped. So Skelly's looking savage, man. The teeth, everything about him. Man, I can't wait to see this guy in action. And that battle scene at the end looks crazy good. Anyway, let's move on. And here we go, the iconic scene when he pulls it up. And when you look at that one there, that 6-pack don't look too bad, man. Like, he's copping a lot of flack online for being out of shape, man. But that 6-pack's not too bad. He might not have the shoulders and the pecs and the lats that we're used to from the 80s, but he looks pretty lean, man. I wouldn't be body shaming him, mate. I'd say he put a lot of people down, mate. He's looking all right there. Anyway, when I saw that and he's, I have the power. Sorry, head door. When I saw that on the preview, man, it gives you just a sense of chill down your spine. Look at that image of Grayskull in the smoke, and that just looks insane. That's gonna it's gonna send me for a loop when I actually watch this for the first time. Honestly, that looks so good. And this is me tripping out. That's what I used in the thumbnail. So there are all the pics I got. I thought I had one of yeah, that was the thing. I thought I had one of Snake Man of I don't have it. I thought I got one of Grayskull, but I didn't grab that one. That's the only one I got, a Grayskull. So look, I didn't want to spend forever on it. I know there's a lot there. There's one online that goes for an hour and a half or something, and people speaking about this preview, and there's negativity, but they've also frozen. I've seen photos of Mechaneck, like this split second. I don't even know how we got these images, but I can see Mechaneck. There's images of Ram Man, just tiniest snippets. I think they've got everyone in this, man, and I really hope they're looking after us. I reckon they are, but I really hope they've got all the characters, and there's a lot more nuggets in there for us. Going back for the old school lovers like myself. But it does, to me, I don't know, I'm going to say this biasly, but to me, that looks like it would appeal to anyone standalone that doesn't know anything about He-Man. It looks like it's got a followable story. The special effects and the action scenes from the 2 minutes we've seen look out of this world. Like, and I just realized that the director is the same director as Bumblebee, Transformers Bumblebee. That is the only Transformers movie I really liked. I wasn't a massive fan. Like, I was obviously a huge Transformers fan, and they rebooted these movies. The first one I thought was okay. I actually just thought they tried to chuck too much on the screen at once, and they tried to do too much CGI kind of stuff. And then the next, Dark of the Moon and all the other ones, I'm not even sure I've seen the last one. I really didn't like them. The storylines I thought pretty average, and they were just trying to. I think they were combating with Avengers movies just to see how many action scenes you. Tell me about it, Simo. Tell me, that's my man Simo. He helps me out a lot of my content. He just goes, this guy's a bloody vintage toy dreamer and a lover, man. We run together in the mornings, and yeah, often we go for a 10K run and we talk about bloody toys for an hour. But yeah, man, that Bumblebee movie was fantastic. Great story, on Earth, obviously, and very relatable. The actors they got in that, I think most of them were first time actors. Obviously, you had bloody John Cena in it and stuff like that, but the acting was great, the story was great, and it was just raw. They didn't try to overblow the battle scenes and the action and try and just blow your mind and win you over with what they throw. Just the sci-fi stuff on screen, the special effects on screen. They actually got you with a story. So, I mean, if this is anything as good as Bumblebee, and a lot of people don't like Bumblebee, I think it only got 6.5 on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes. It doesn't have a high rating, but I think it's brilliant. It's a great ode to the fans, and it's a good standalone movie. My 7-year-old son, we've seen that about 10 times. I think my wife actually likes Bumblebee. Like, there's not many people I've seen that have watched Bumblebee and said, nah, it's not good. I thought it was fantastic. Anyway, this guy's directing the new MOTU movie, so look, I think it's in good hands, but let's pray. He's only directed one other movie, and I'm actually going to watch it. It's some animated series. It looks a little bit strange, but I'm going to watch it just to see what storyline's like and his direction, and if it's any, what it's like. But I can't see him ballsing this up, honestly. This is the movie that have waited so long. It's been in making for so bloody long that I just don't think they can stuff it up, man. And if they don't, if this is a great movie, man, it's just going to take over the world. I was speaking to my wife last night about that Barbie movie that came out, right? Like, that's huge, right? It's probably bigger than He-Man. It's been going for longer than He-Man. And I probably didn't take the hiatus that He-Man did with the toys, and it just kept on going. Barbie was massive, right? And when that movie came out, it took over the world. It was everywhere in the headlines. It was massive in the box office initially, and it was just everywhere. It was just took over, but it didn't last long. And I actually haven't seen it myself, but multiple sources that I have heard about, including my missus, stepdaughter, whatnot, they all say the movie kind of sucked. So that took over the world just for, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, but it sucked. Imagine that movie was apparently, I heard it sucked. I haven't seen it. Imagine He-Man gets the same kind of blowout going in, the vibe, the push, the everything, just the popularity, everything, the buzz going in. But imagine if it's 10 out of 10, the movie actually just hits off. That could that could stay in the box office forever. Could seriously go up there in that top 10 and break some records and get up there with some of those Avengers movies and some of the Star Wars movies up there. It's not going to break that. It's not going to get to the top 3. Some of those are unattainable. But if this is a great movie, and with the hype going in and the vibe going in, the buzz, this could stay on top for a long time. And man, He-Man deserves to be up there. And if it's obviously a ripper, it's not going to be one movie, is it? This is going to be ongoing. And they don't do trilogies anymore, do they? They just go 1, 2, 3, 4. Next thing you know, there's 12 of them. So look, man, I'm all for this taking over the globe. MOTU Mania could be back, and I'll be leading the charge. So look, thanks for watching, guys. I'm just super excited about this. Obviously, it's hard for me to contain my emotion. I've been running around the house, screaming I have the power, and my 7-year-old son's thinking I'm, which I kind of am. And I know that. I've kind of admitted that. Kind of never gave up on my childhood. So look, really thanks for watching, guys. If anyone is interested, I'm going to try and get some kind of premiere tickets, and I'm going to give them away to WA people. So WA people, if you're big MOTU fans, you might want to get in touch with me, because look, I don't have the tickets yet, but I'm going to go out of my way to make sure I can get my hands on some, and I'm definitely going to give them away to you guys. So thanks a lot, guys. Obviously, Simo, you're all going to be there, man. Thanks for tuning in, my brand. Anyone got a quick question or want to throw a vibe at me for a minute? Otherwise, I'll just jump off. I see I've only got a handful of people on board still and not too many people commenting, so that's cool. Anyone got a question, feel free, or an opinion on this movie, let me know. I'm going to quickly cycle through some of these stills I had. That was me just, that was kind of put on a little bit, but that was for the thumbnail, just to get you guys pumped. Like I said, that's the theatrical poster. I can't wait to see that absolutely everywhere. I'm sure if I go to the cinemas now, that'll be up now. June 5, man. That's a long time, man. That's a long time. So we'll get there. That's the crew landing on Eternia. That's our brutal-looking Cringer, maybe Battle Cat already. Come on, man. Let's spike it up, guys. Spike was in the house, and he's looking like Batista with on roids, man. So I'm pumped for that one. Visto's looking sick. Evil Lynn's looking sinister as always. That's probably the winning photo I've got so far. That's the one that I'm most pumped about. That looks perfect for a end battle scene, man, to me. I can't wait to see what they do in Snake Mountain's head there with looks like you got He-Man there coming down to meet him, and I don't know who that is next to Skeletor. It's quite small. Is it Evil Lynn? Who knows? It's not a big guy. It's not a huge tank. And then you got, that's also another one. I'm looking forward to seeing Trapjaw, man. He looks, bro, that hook looks insane. I've said that a million times, so I won't say it again. And then you got Skelly himself. And honestly, that battle scene, I should have grabbed a still of that. But there's all these like energy lasers coming off when they're fighting each other. And it's almost like he's like a Sith or something. Man, he's going to be a bloody ninja. Man, hey, buddy, yeah, I am excited about it. It's not a possible timeline, man. I would imagine it's a 10 out of 10, 100%. They're going to release every single figure you can possibly imagine from this movie. And why wouldn't they? Yeah, I am pumped about it. Look, like I said, I've bought so many of these Origins figures. I've got to have probably 80 Origins figures. And that's pretty sick, seeing I'm a full disclosure, I'm 100% vintage toy collector. I don't even buy modern toys. I don't think I own a modern toy. The first modern toy I bought of late was an Origins figure. I've since bought a couple of 40th anniversary re-release Transformers. Some of them are really, really nice. But yeah, I'm not a modern toy collector. But yeah, honestly, I've got about bloody 80 of these buggers. And not only have I got them, the Origins initial line, then they brought the cartoon series out, which are multiple characters. So I've got probably 30 of them. So I've got 2 Spike Wars, I've got 2 this, 2 that. And how am I going to, if they're the same scale, I'm sure they'll do this Origins line, because this Origins line is extremely popular. It's so popular that it's taken the popularity and value down of some of the classics, 200X and Super 7s. Like those values, if you look down through eBay, I've been dealing toys for my whole life, and even vintage stuff. All these other toy lines, since Origins has absolutely taken off, exploded, those values have just gone down. It's sad to see for those who have spent a lot of money on those collections, but I guess that's telling you that people are happy to pay 20, 25 bucks and have this figure in their collection, rip it open, play with it, or keep a card, either or, than spending like a mint loose Spike Or. Just, here's a pretty common figure, 50, 60 bucks Australian dollars here, up 50, 60 bucks Australian dollars for a mint vintage one. You get him for 20, 25 Origin dead mint, and you can leave him on the card, or you can crack him open. Or you got your $400, I don't know, $350, $400 mint on card Spike Or. You go and sell that, put that in acrylic, and the packaging on these Origins are insane. 25 bucks, chuck it in acrylic for another 25, whatever, say 50, 60 bucks in acrylic. Sell your vintage one, and you can go buy 10 of them and display them. They look amazing. So yeah, I'm hell pumped for this movie line. I'll get most of them, I would say. I don't know where I'm going to put them. I will make a note to myself to not just keep them carded like I did with these for so long. I've now ripped every single one of my Origins one open, and I really enjoy them. I reckon they display nice. You put an OG one, you put an OG next to a Origins figure, same scale, same height, same everything. They just look great. So I've used them for, initially I was only buying the ones I didn't have OGs. So I've only got to say 30 original MOTUs, and then the ones I didn't have, I was buying in Origins just to plug the holes. And I'm probably just as guilty as other people. Like, I don't now have to go out and buy a Spike Or because I've got this one. So that's driven the demand down for a vintage one. And I've seen the same, man. I remember those classics lines. I don't have one, but the classics ones, they're quite big size. They're beautiful, epic sculpts. They're stunning. Like, they were all, most of them, you couldn't get anything under sort of 250 bucks sealed, and they went up to 600. And you look now on eBay or any given Facebook site or resellers place, you can get them for a fraction of that. You can get carded figures now for $100, $150. Not the most common ones, $100, $150 carded. And some of the epic ones used to be $500, $600. They're half that, man. So it's a shame because they are gorgeous figures, but it's also a good way to get some affordable toys. If you like those classics and you don't like the Origins or whatever, go back and buy the classics now, man. Like, who cares about value? Don't worry about what they're worth. Who gives a crap? If you like them and you love them, you just buy them, man. If they go up in value, that's a bonus. If they don't, man, you've got them in your collection. You look at them, you play with them, you're happy, man. Like, sorry, I'm ranting off about toys and stuff now here, but you did ask me about the toy line. I'm very pumped about it, and yeah, they'll definitely go nuts on it. I'm gonna have to draw the line on play sets and stuff like that. Like, where am I gonna put a bloody movie Castle Grayskull when I've got an Origins, Grayskull, Eternia, Fright Zone, and Grayskull and Snake Mountain that I have still got in sealed box that I've got nowhere to put because I've got no space. So I'm gonna have to call it on play sets and maybe vehicles unless something killer comes up. But I'll definitely get the figs and I'll make space for that. And look, there's a few naked walls in my my toy room here that I can put some shelves on and mount more stuff. So that's what that's for, right? You can't have empty space on your walls. It's put some shelves up and get them all covered in some kind of acrylic case and let's go. So yeah, and I think they've done it well, man. With this movie, they've timed it for selling toys. I think they've done it really well because so I'm talking about toys, but look, I am a Derek Vintage Toys. I'm a toy dealer, toy lover, toy seller. So yeah, this end of this sort of trailer talk's gone towards toys, but I think it's going to be very epic. If this movie goes off, they've done it really well. This Origins line's got a lot of momentum, same scale. The packaging is going to be similar. They're going to call it Origins movie or something like that. They're going to go ballistic with these, and I think they're going to go off. What vehicles might come through, but the castle is awesome. I might be tempted to remember the toy line will be aimed at us, not kids. Oh, no doubt. The toy line will be aimed at us. And the prices reflect that of late. Like, I mean, the toys at $20 retail at lately, I'm talking Australia, Kmart, these figures coming out at $20 has been a bloody godsend. They used to be only a big W, $26, and you could barely get them. Otherwise you had to get them on eBay and everything. There wasn't an Origins figure less than $30 on eBay or anywhere. And then you had to pay post. So you were paying $40, $45 for a figure. Now you can pretty much stroll into Kmart, and most of the time they've got something in stock. You can get one for $20. Definitely. And the vehicles and play sets, they're relatively affordable, but yeah, they're not for kids. If they make an epic Castle Grayskull that matches that still photo, which I'll bring back up. I think that was one of the next ones. If they make an epic Snake Mountain vehicle playset like that with that kind of sculpt, you're going to be looking at I'd say $300. It might even be a crowdfund job, who knows, through creations, but that's going to be a $300 job. Like, yeah, they're not for kids. They're going to be us. It's going to be aimed at us. And look, I'm being acting tough now and saying I'm not going to get it, but who knows, man? I might find a space. I might get rid of something and put it somewhere. Who knows? Anyway, it's just getting some serious toy talk. This is great, man. MOTU is bringing not just the movie, but it's going to get everything cranking again, MOTU-wise, and it's going to bring everyone out. It's going to bring a lot of nostalgia to the front of the pile here, man, because everyone loves He-Man. Everyone that lived in that era had to watch He-Man. You didn't have it in Australia. We didn't have cable like in the States. We had channels 2, 7, and 9 at that time, and then channel 10 came later. Channel 2 was pretty average, and 7 and 9 aired cartoons in the morning. And if you didn't watch He-Man, you pretty much, there was something wrong with you. You either didn't own a TV, or like everyone watched He-Man at school. If you didn't watch He-Man, you didn't know what happened in the last night. So this morning's episode at school, before school started, you get to school early, you talk about He-Man. If you didn't know what happened in that He-Man episode, you know, you were kind of left out of the conversation and almost ostracized for the day. So everyone knew He-Man. So if this movie goes off, it gets publicity, which it's going to get, it's going to take over the world, and let's go, man. I'm so pumped for it. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Obviously, this will go to my channel, so you can watch it later on. Thanks for the guys who made comments and asked me a few questions. Appreciate you guys watching. This is the first time I've ever done a movie-related thing, but it's obviously heavily tied to vintage toys and my childhood nostalgia. Everyone loves He-Man, so this one had to be done. I know I've left it late, but it wasn't about that. I wanted to kind of let it sink in and have a good view on it. So thanks for watching, guys. Yeah, more coming, man. I can't wait for this. And like I said, I'm going to try and obtain some tickets. So those in WA, if I can get some tickets to this premiere, be it midnight or opening day or whatever the hell it is, I'm going to give some tickets away for this. I'll probably do it on my YouTube channel, but you'll see it on my Facebook group. So those two, I cross-link all the time. So if something's happening on one, you'll find it on the other. So thanks, guys. And we do have the power, guys. Let's just harness it and pray this movie is a 10 out of 10. And it just sends us into orbit, because I'm already there now, and it's nowhere near June, man. So thanks a lot, guys. Enjoy toys. Enjoy this He-Man movie when it comes out. And we're going to try and keep it in your pants till then, because it's going to be hard, man. I'm already flipping out now, and I've got a long way to go. Thanks, guys.